Hello and welcome back to the Career Cravings podcast. Today we are diving into something a little crazy. I have built $1 million program, HR Star. And at this point, it's helped thousands of people land their dream roles. And I made a huge announcement. If you were at my live event on the 16th, my final HR masterclass that I hosted, which is that I am offering HR Star for the very last time. And it is open right now until midnight on Monday, the 27th. And I've been getting so many questions. Why now? What's changing? What comes next? So today I'm taking you behind the scenes of this very difficult and huge decision, the impact, what happens next, what I've learned, and what it means for you as well. And this is a huge evolution that I am going through. It is very exciting. And I want to take you behind the scenes of what's coming next. Because if you're also in the middle of your evolution, I know that this episode will resonate with you. Hey, it's Irina Pozan, and welcome back to the Career Cravings podcast. This podcast has a simple mission. It's to help ambitious professionals like you build the career and life that you've been craving. Over the past 15 years, I've worked as an HR leader, designed hiring systems, led recruitment teams, and I've sat on the other side of the hiring table. I've seen what works in today's job market, what doesn't, and what separates those good candidates from the ones that actually land their dream roles. Now I'm bringing everything I've learned straight to you. Each episode is packed with actionable insights and tools to help you land your dream role sooner. Now let's dive in. The HR Masterclass that I just hosted and taught, I have taught it now over 20 times. And HR Star is now almost 5 years old. And it has been literally incredible. It has grown into $1 million program on its own. I have now had at least 15,000. I should check the numbers. It's probably higher. 15,000 people attend that event in the past. I have now hit a big milestone number in terms of how many people I helped inside of that program, which is now over 1,000 people land roles. And it is time for an evolution, and it is time for the next level. So this is the realization that I have been recently having, is that people don't have a qualification problem. They have a positioning problem. They have a clarity problem. And all of the frameworks and all of the things that have made HR Star the success that it has. Like, I know you've listened to possibly the last 3 episodes where people have come and shared their incredible success stories. And if you haven't listened to those, hop in and take a listen, because all of them have just literally raved about the HR Star program. And I have so many people join this podcast in the past sharing their experiences, going from, complete silence to 3 job offers or 2 job offers or landing a role twice their pay. I mean, it has been so transformative, not only for me, but especially for the people that have gone through the program. And it is incredible. And I wanted to take a moment to celebrate that, because it truly is my dream to see this come alive. And what's started to happen is the more people that I worked with and the more people that I coached and the more that I expanded conversations, I realized something that I couldn't ignore. I could no longer just be known for helping HR people land roles. This is something that works really well, that I love doing. But the thing that I've discovered is that there are so many more people in tech, in sales, in marketing that are also looking for support. And so I tested that. I created a new offer a couple of months ago. In February, it was launched, called the Offer Room. And I tested the exact methodology that I teach inside of HR Star, but teaching it to tech and marketing and operations and other corporate professionals. And what I saw was that they are getting the exact same results. And the results translated across industries, across roles. People with completely different backgrounds were people with extremely different backgrounds were experiencing the exact same results. I have supported all kinds of people throughout 15 years in HR. I actually have never supported HR groups specifically. I've always supported operations, tech, marketing, manufacturing, the C-suite, people in leadership roles. And it dawned on me, I'm like, why am I creating two programs when they are literally the exact same methodology and the need is so much greater? So after testing it, I know that this work is not meant to stay in one lane. It is a natural evolution. And something that I've been recently really diving deep into because I'm writing about it in my book is the concept that we all evolve, and who we were when we were 18 years old, when we made our initial decision to land our first career, changes as we get more information, as we grow, as we evolve. And that is beautiful and it should be celebrated. And that's when we have career transitions and pivots and we grow and we get promoted and we get the next role. And if you've been following me from the very beginning, since like the first day that I started on social media and actually sharing about the work that I've been doing, you'll remember like pink. Everything was pink. All of my branding and my colors were like soft and pink. And I spoke to women primarily, and they were all in HR. And then I had a couple of men knock on my door and they were like, hey, like, can you coach me too? And I'm like, sure, let's do it. And then they have gotten incredible results. And I know you've seen them on the podcast too, like Erin and Shrey come to mind. And so then there was the evolution with the brand. And like, as another example, I changed my brand colors. And then it is always time to take a look and honor who are we becoming and honor the changes and honor how far we've come and adapt our career to embody who we are now. And with that, especially after 5 incredible years, I know that there is so much legacy and work to be done. And I'm so excited for this next expansion. So what people don't talk about enough is like when we are in something that works or when we're good at something, it's really, really, really easy to stay safe and stay the same. And that's exactly what I've been doing. Like I've been thinking about this for years because over the last 2 years or so, I've been coaching outside of HR Star. I've been coaching one-to-one with people from all kinds of industries. And that is kind of what led me to open up the offer room. And now that I have seen that the offer room gets the same results, I'm like, okay, I could keep the decision to keep running 2 programs. I could just choose one. But at the end of the day, people have the exact same issues where they're getting stuck, which is their credibility, getting noticed for the interviews. And there's so much deeper work that needs to be done. And this works across all industries. So the easy thing to do is continue to do what you've always done. And I've done this myself. Like I've stayed in roles for too long in my career without changing, without really honoring who I have become in the process, what I've learned along the way. And this is just another time where it is time to evolve and to embrace it and get excited. And I knew that the future, this expansion would happen eventually. I just didn't know when. And launching the HR Star program this month feels like the perfect time to offer it for the very last time before it evolves officially into the offer room. So if you are someone who has been following for some time and you have been like, you know what, I always wanted to join HR Star. I've been thinking about it. I've been sitting on the fence with the decision. Maybe I would do it next year. This is your moment because this version of the work inside of the program was built specifically for you. And this is the very last time that I'm going to offer it in this way for this market and in a cohort where it's just HR professionals. And this program won't exist in this way ever again. It will evolve and it'll be broader and it'll be the offer room. So it's designed for high achieving corporate professionals across all industries. But this version of HR Star, this is literally the final time that I'm offering it. So if you are an HR professional, you've been sitting on the fence, you've always known you wanted to join HR Star, you're applying and you're not hearing back, this is the very last cohort that I am offering it in this format. And the doors to bonus enrollment for the very last time are closing Monday at midnight. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out and we can answer them and make the right decision for you if it is time for you to get support. And this episode, zooming out, this is not about HR Star. I think this is about so many people, what they experience, but don't actually act on. It is so easy to continue to do something that you've been successful at, that you've proven that's working, and still it doesn't feel fully aligned with your future vision, right? So now as I'm writing this book and I'm talking about evolving as you get more information in your career and zooming out and authentically aligning to who you've become in the process and not just staying stuck to where you've been and doing the thing that you've been doing that works, I cannot authentically live that message myself without expanding and evolving to who I have become in the process myself. So I know this level of adaptation, becoming, reflection, it requires you to be really, really, really fully comfortable. And I know that the program in the future will be bigger and better than freaking ever. So I'm so excited for it. And I also have learned along the way that the process that made HR Star successful is not changing, is not going anywhere. And it helps beyond just the closed circle of HR professionals. And for a long time, you may have noticed this podcast itself, this podcast has never, since it launched a year and a half ago, has never just been for HR people. These are broader topics. And you've probably noticed in my content as well, besides promoting the specific HR masterclass or HR Star, none of the content is specifically only for HR professionals. And it is time to, instead of doing things like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, this is for you and this is for you, to really adapt to the broader message. And the book as well that I'm writing, that I can't wait to share more with you on, it's coming very, very soon into the world. It is also not for HR professionals. It is literally for HR professionals and marketing professionals and tech professionals. And it is on the broader topic of careers, which I truly believe is aligned with my mission, my values. And now it is just time to evolve and make things better. And I want you to pay attention to that in your life too. So if there's an area where technically something is working and you're in it now, but you know the future of where you're going is slightly heading to this direction, I want you to listen to that. I want you to see where you're going, what you want next. And I'll give you an example. This is very similar to when I was a senior HR manager and I discovered that my passion, the number one place where I wanted to spend 100% of my time, was in talent, on the talent side. So helping people grow their careers. So I knew that I wanted the director of talent role. So what I had to do was not abandon everything that I was doing, but think about, for this next evolution of where I'm going, what do I need to do? What are the steps that I need to take to get there? And then eventually leave behind the other parts that were less aligned to my bigger purpose and calling. So listen, I will forever remember HR Star as the best program that I am completely obsessed with, that evolved so beautifully, that has had a huge impact on so many people's lives that I know you've heard on the podcast here as well. And it's only going to get better. But I thought, with all the questions coming in, that I do need to be sharing what is happening in the future and why the evolution. So you can think of it as an evolution of the way that support is called. So it's really rebranding to the offer room. And I look forward to working with HR professionals super, super closely inside of the offer room in the future. But I thought, if you were someone who has been on the fence and you wanted to get support within that program and be part of the final cohort before the doors close, I cannot wait to support you. And all of the details are in the show notes. And after this, we move into the new era, which I am so, so excited about. I'm so excited about this expansion to really a lot of the work that I've been doing behind the scenes. Like, I have written a full book that has nothing to do with the specific niche of HR. And it is like not out in the world yet. And it's all been happening and bubbling behind the scenes. And I can't wait for that all to finally kind of come out. But until then, I wanted to fill you in. You know, I'm always sharing what's happening behind the scenes. I wanted to fill you in on the evolution that's been happening, about why this evolution is taking place. And if you're on a personal evolution where you're looking ahead in your own career too, I have so much coming on this topic. You're going to start hearing me continue to talk about job search like forever, the way that you've been hearing it here, but you will also hear a lot more on fulfillment, what success really means, happiness in your career, landing the most aligned roles, not just the next role as soon as possible, and really on career fulfillment, which is something that I'm so, so passionate about. Everything we build in our career is amazing, and it's an era to celebrate, and we always learn something from it. But we also have to be willing to evolve to our next chapter, or we will be left behind. And if this is also one of those pivotal moments for you and you're also evolving, then that is incredible. That means you're growing. You are a human being. Like I always say, we make initial decisions without all of the data that we have today. You might have gone into the role that you're in now years ago. And since then, you learned more about what the culture is like, what the leadership team is like, what you like doing, what you don't like doing, what you want more of, what you want less of. And that is freaking amazing. You can take all of that information and evolve it to the next era of who you get to become. And this is a big moment because it really, for me right now, if you're also going through this, like for me, it just reminds me of the place that I used to be in when I was launching this business. And I remember thinking, like 5 years ago, thinking, this is such a huge pivot. Like, it is so different than what I've been doing. And then once I finally get into it, I'm like, hold on, like, this is literally the same thing. I'm working with the same types of people. I'm helping them with the same things, which is landing roles, which is super aligned to all of my career path in HR and talent management and recruitment. And I remember that pivot in my mind being so big and so scary. And I remember my coach telling me, she's like, Irina, are you joking? This is not a pivot. You've been doing this for 15 years. You're just doing it in a slightly different way. And I remember that being such a big deal to me. And then a couple months ago, I launched the offer room and it literally instantly sold out. And such incredible people have joined that program from across all industries. And seeing again the success that they've been having, which mirrors the success of my clients in my one-to-one program and the HR Star program. And like all of the stars in my head aligned to like literally this framework, the Career Cravings framework, works and has proven to work across all industries. Why am I overcomplicating it? Why am I keeping it completely separate? Why am I doing this? It just makes no sense. And you know, the name of the offer room, launching it was like so much fun and the branding behind it was so fun. And I think it is like a 10 out of 10 name. I'm like, everything should be called the offer room, whether I'm speaking to an HR person and helping them land their next role, freaking amazing, or whether I'm speaking to a marketing person and helping them land a role. That is all happening inside of the offer room. So that recently clicked for me and it feels like the most aligned and the right next evolution. And if you guys have been here for a while, you know I don't launch new things. Like some people are pivoting all the time. I am like the most consistent person, which is why I felt like no one would even think this is a pivot. But for me, it feels like such a big deal. And I wanted to come here and like honor what it took to get here, because I know from the outside, it's like, Irina, you're still helping people land roles. That's what you've always done. You're literally doing it again. And for me, I'm like, this is like a rebrand. We're calling it a different thing, even though behind the scenes, it is the same process. And it is exciting. And it's also something that is pushing me to evolve. There are so many new things happening this year in 2026 in terms of the business and the evolution. So not only launching the offer room, the book will be launching as well, which is on, a different careers topic. And there is something brand new that I'm launching in the fall as well. And all of these micro shifts and changing the way that I approach even what I'm talking about here and inviting more diverse guests onto the podcast to share more diverse career experiences outside of a tiny box of like, this is just for HR, this is just for HR. And finally listening to you guys and saying like, I've wanted support, but it's only been, geared towards HR professionals. And this is really the public, although behind the scenes, I've been working with so many different people across different industries. This feels like the public recognition of that. So anyway, I'm very, very excited for this next chapter. I'm also most excited for this final cohort. I know that the people that have hopped in already, there are a couple spots left, but the people that have hopped in already are incredible. And they're going to be probably my most memorable group just because of this evolution. So I wanted to come here and tell you first, you will not see HR Star offered in this way ever again. And if you have felt a connection to wanting to be part of this community and wanting to land your next HR role, then amazing. I cannot wait to support you inside of HR Star for the very last time. And then we will have a brand new beginning, an evolution, which I think is so, so beautiful. I'll leave you with one analogy that I recently read about in the book called Worthy by Kern Lima is her last name. Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting her name, but super famous book, sold millions of copies, called Worthy. And everyone knows the butterfly analogy, right? Where it's like, the caterpillar turns into this beautiful butterfly after going into a cocoon. Everyone knows that. But the way she positioned it in her book, and as I was reading it this weekend, it just like really hit and like resonated with me for this place of evolution of where I am at. And maybe you are in a place of evolution right now too, where you're looking for your next role. You're looking to level up. Maybe you've been laid off. Maybe you've moved countries. You're also evolving. And that's life. And that's beautiful. But the way she described it was that what actually happens, and I never knew this, what actually happens is that the caterpillar goes into a cocoon, but it has to fully dissolve and it turns into liquid before it can turn into the butterfly. And then when it comes out of the cocoon, it actually has very wet wings and it takes time for those wings to dry. And then it beautifully flies off to its destination, wherever it's meant to go in this new, beautiful state. And I'm like, okay, there is a part of, transformation that happens that fully liquefies, which is such a bigger change. And then becomes what it's truly meant to be. Anyway, I thought I would share that with you if you're also on your evolution journey. And I'm so excited for this next chapter. And I can't wait to fill you in on next steps, what's happening next, the book stuff, and all of the things that are happening in this year. I feel like this is the year of the horse, and it definitely feels that way with so much new energy. I've literally felt like I have done, new things in very small bites in the last 5 years since, walking away from corporate. That was a huge change. But since then, instantly it was like, launching HR Star, it working, the program growing, people joining all the time, and it being so exciting. And I've had weeks where there were like 7 job offers that have happened for clients. And then this year, really stepping into expansion and supporting people in corporate groups outside of HR as well. And then seeing the success of the offer room and having that be such an exciting time. And just knowing that that is the future of the evolution has been so beautiful. So thank you for being here on this journey. And I hope this shared some more behind the scenes and light on what's been happening. And I will continue to always bring the transparent updates here with you first. So Let me know what you thought of this episode, if it helps to kind of answer some of the questions that you have. And if HR Star sounds like the next best step for you, I can't freaking wait to support you and for you to be a part of this final cohort. Let's freaking do this. Okay, love you. See you in the next episode. Hey, before you go, if you've enjoyed listening to today's show, I would love your support. Please take a moment to leave a review anywhere where you listen to podcasts. And here's the exciting part. I'm running a special contest and giving away a one-on-one session with yours truly. All you have to do is leave a review, take a screenshot, and send it to me in my DMs. All of my contact info is in the show notes. I appreciate you so much, and I cannot wait to build the career and life that you've been craving together. See you next week.